All right, everyone. It is Monday, June 16th, 2025. Welcome to another episode of the He Said, She Said Sports Talk Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Big Red. This is Tony. What's good, Tony? We had a week off. Not sure if anyone noticed, but we definitely took a week off
I
for sure.
noticed because so much happened.
Yes, a lot definitely has happened in the sports world for sure. We're going to start off though about giving your brother a shout out. Last week you were in Oregon. Why don't you tell the people about it?
Yeah, so we had my brother Nick on 2 weeks ago talking about his preparation for track and field nationals, which took place last week in Eugene, Oregon at historic Hayward Field. My whole
Yeah,
family got to go. It was an incredible experience. Nick came into the decathlon ranked 22nd in the NCAA. He actually ended up finishing 13th, which makes him a second team All-American and
yes.
potentially
Congrats.
on the cusp of being invited to the USA meet at the end of July. So we'll have to see. He's right there on the cusp. If a couple of people drop out, he'll be in it. So a lot of exciting things, but really, truly, the decathlon is the most mental sport that there is. It's 5 events each day for 2 days, total 10 events. And sometimes you're going to have a great event and get a personal best, or sometimes you're gonna have a really average event and or a really bad one. And they talk about, like the 2/3 rule, and a third of it's gonna be below your average, third of it's gonna be about average, and a third of it's got to be above average, and that'll get you to like the next leap. Uh,
Yeah.
so for Nick, I think honestly, I don't think that he was super thrilled through the first 7 events. But his last couple of events, he was either on his PR mark or above. So for the
Yeah.
1500 meter, which is the final event of the 10 events, he had a 10-second PR. He went from running a 4:36 to a 4:26, which is insane. It was like one of the fastest deck 1500s I've ever seen. They
Mhm.
were all flying. I think probably 8 of them had personal bests in that race. So it was so awesome to watch. And all of his friends and family, we were all positioned all around the track, cheering him on. And every time that he had a chance to like mentally get bogged down, somebody else was there to like cheer him on. And it was
Yeah.
so exciting, so awesome. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah,
Um,
no, same. Yeah, that's dope, man. I know he's gonna be watching this, so congrats, Nick, for sure. You know, we rooting for you over here. Definitely. Congrats on being an All-American. Your new nickname is Double A now. Double A Nick for All-American, for sure, definitely. And you said he what was it? The finals?
the 1500.
Okay, yeah, 1500. Okay, yeah, no. Definitely great for sure. Congrats to your brother, my guy Nick Bianco on that, and good luck to you along the way. We'll definitely be rooting for you for sure, brother. Definitely. Let's talk NBA. Obviously, we're in the finals, NBA finals. Obviously, last week we had a few games go back and forth. Um, we got game five tonight, actually, so the series is tied at 2-2. How do you feel about the finals so far?
Yeah, I mean, look, I know a lot of people have a lot to say about the two Midwest teams and the lower ratings and the fact that there's literally no identification that this is an NBA finals. There's no cup on the court. It's a very odd year, all in
Yeah,
all. But I am surprised at how good the Pacers have looked and how well they've been able to make adjustments throughout the
yeah,
course of this series. I mean, the series it's tied 2-2, but it's only separated by 6 total points. So it's a super close series. But
yeah,
I think that the Pacers have done such a good job each game. Like in the first game, SGA was getting a lot out of the pick and roll, so they adjusted how they were defending it. So then the Thunder started setting the pick and roll a little bit higher. So now the Pacers have just started completely denying SGA the ball and not allowing the offense to start through him. And that has been so key for the Pacers because the Thunder's offense flows through SGA. You see it. They don't have as many assists anymore. There's such a lack of offensive flow. A lot of their points are coming from one-on-one ISO takes. they truly have disrupted what OKC does and limited it.
No, they definitely have. I mean, us talking about this before the series started, we kind of uh thought OKC would have an advantage. But no, the Pacers have definitely made the better adjustments in my mind. Um, as far as OKC, I think OKC needs a few players to play better. Chet Holmgren is definitely one of them in my mind. He just got to get that dog in him and kind of start taking over, kind of like he used to in the season. I mean, he's averaging 15, I think, in the finals, but they need a little bit more out of him, definitely. And even in the defense and rebounding, they need more out of him. But the Pacers have made the adjustments. Like I said, it's definitely close. I picked OKC, but I mean, man, it could definitely go either way. Tonight's definitely going to be a crucial game. For sure. I'm not sure where it's at. Is it in OKC? I think it's in OKC, right?
It should be
I
back.
want to say. Yeah, yeah. Game five. But no, so I mean, OKC, like I said, they play well at home. They play well on the road too. So but it's going to whoever wins the night is gonna be in the driver's seat for sure. So tonight's probably the most important game of the series for both teams in my mind. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. Starts at 8:30 tonight, so we'll definitely see how it goes and be talking about it next week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But there was a trade. Let's talk about this trade. There was a trade in the NBA today between Orlando and Memphis Grizzlies, where Desmond Bane from from Memphis, went to Orlando, and the Grizzlies got Caldwell Pope, Cole Anthony, four unprotected first round picks and a first round pick swap. How do you feel about this trade? And do you think Desmond Bain was worth all of that?
I don't know if he's worth all that. Orlando gave up a lot. That's a lot
Yeah,
to give up for one player, unless they
definitely.
feel like he is the key to turning around their entire franchise right now, which I'm not 100% sold on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, same. I feel the exact same way, man. I feel like Memphis definitely won this trade. Um, four unprotected first round picks. One of them includes, I want to say, a pick from Phoenix next year, and then the first round swap. I mean,
You're giving away
it's
your future. I mean, you're giving
yeah,
away a lot of your future right now.
yeah. That and then like it's basically saying that Desmond Bain is like the only piece. It's putting a lot on Desmond Bain, basically saying he's the only piece y'all are missing to become championship contender. And I don't think that's the case for Orlando. Don't get me wrong, Desmond Bain's a great player. They
Yeah.
needed a shooter for sure on their team, you know. But I don't think that it's enough for them to compete with Boston or the Pacers, let's say Cleveland. I don't think that puts them in that category. It makes them better for sure. Does it make them competitive? Yes. Playoff team? Yes. But I don't think it puts them over the hump to compete for a championship, which is why I think it's too much to give away with four first round picks.
Yeah.
That's crazy in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
Crazy.
Um, not on the subject of the NBA, ESPN analyst, whatever you want to call her,
Hey, she's a
Joy.
host. She's the host of Speak.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Joy Taylor. I heard a comment that she made, kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit for a say. She said if the Pacers win the title, it would disrupt the NBA because the Pacers are on a big market, the blah blah blah. But I couldn't agree with her at all on that. I disagree with her. I mean, I think that it's good for the NBA, for some of the small cities and small teams to win. I think it's more versatile for the league. I mean, in my opinion, I'm tired personally of seeing, the normals, the Bostons, the Lakers, whoever LeBron plays for, you know. those teams of that nature just always in the finals and playing. It's better when there's more variety in the league and the league is more versatile where you don't know each and every year. It makes it better, it makes it more competitive. So for her to say that, in my mind, just and her reasoning was because it was small market. I'm not really care about like small market. All I care about is good basketball. And if they're playing good basketball and they deserve to win a championship, then it doesn't matter, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't 100% agree with her. I don't think until you have a small market team winning multiple years in a row does it
Hmm.
truly disrupt the NBA. I think more
Yeah.
than anything else right now, ratings are what's disrupting the NBA. The mass three-point shooting is what's disrupting the NBA. There's no more basketball being played. The fact that officials don't call anything anymore. They call stupid fouls, but they don't call a lot of they don't call walks, they don't call anything like they just it's so opportunistic their calls for what is going to drive ratings and like it just those are the things that are disrupting the NBA for me. It's not the fact that there's a small market team in the final and also how big of a market is OKC where you can only say that about Indiana.
That's what that was my point too. Like OKC is a small market as
Right.
well. Really, both teams that are in it are small market. So you're
I mean,
going to get
LeBron
one
was
guy.
on the
Either way.
Cavs forever. That's a small market team too, I would argue. So
Definitely.
really, like, what are we saying? What are we saying? I
Yeah,
just
I
think
just
that's
don't think it matters. I think the basketball matters. And like I said, I feel like it's better for the league. It's more versatile when you have a lot more better teams than a bunch of bad teams and a few good teams. So,
I'm also
I mean,
not
I just
sure
think it was a dumb comment on her behalf to say that for sure.
I'm not sure disruption is even a bad thing either. Again,
Yeah.
look at where the ratings are at. Maybe
Mhm.
disruption is a good thing. I just think
Yeah.
it's too early of a take, and disruption doesn't necessarily have a negative or positive connotation unless you put one on it. So,
Yeah, no, definitely. For sure. Let's talk WNBA. Obviously, there's a lot that went on while we were off.
yeah.
Caitlin and Paige's return. What
Caitlin
was your
Clark
take
and
on them?
Paige Beckers are both back in action. Oh, the W's
Yeah,
at stake again.
yeah. Caitlin Clark balled out too. I mean, she had 32, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. She hit like her first, I don't know how many threes.
She
She's
three threes in like 36 seconds or something
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, she was on fire out the gate for sure. I mean, you could kind of tell she was itching to get back, on the floor. I mean, you could tell by her sideline antics when she was on the bench. Definitely, you could definitely tell for sure.
Antics is definitely the word for it. But I want to talk about the one specific interaction that Caitlin had with Brianna Stewart. She
Yeah, that
dropped a
was dope.
step back three from like almost half court, and you see
Yeah,
Stewie's arm reaching out and just can't get there.
can't get there yet.
The two of them, after Caitlyn drained the three, the two of them just smiled at each other and just
Uh-huh.
like they gave each other little taps on the shoulders, and
Yeah, yeah.
it was so healing to see somebody have such a positive interaction with Caitlin Clark because I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of her reception has been so negative, and this was finally
Yeah,
a camaraderie moment that positive welcome to the W moment that she has been looking for. And
yeah.
somebody finally was celebrating her and Stewie, even though she got a little bit humbled because, she got a step back three in her face. She
Yeah,
was
from
just like,
deep too. That baby was
she was
from
just like,
deep.
damn, that was from deep. Like, you got me.
Yeah,
And and that's what I love about the W is they celebrate each other and they're finally at least somebody is finally doing that with Caitlyn, and it's awesome.
yeah, no, it definitely was good to see, man. It was like a kind of an awe moment on the floor for sure. She just stepped back, and they're competitors, obviously, but I'm pretty sure they're good friends and good mutual companions off the floor as well. But no, it was definitely good to see. Like I said, Caitlin is Caitlin, man. She brings an excitement to the game. That the game needs too. It's always needed for sure. And she backs it up with her game. She plays hard. She works
Yep.
hard. So,
They
you
handed
know.
the Liberty their first loss of the season in that game. So,
Yeah, they definitely did, and it was like right on time. I'm sure the Liberty wish she would have set out another game before they ran into her. But I mean, the Fever they're a good team, but they play a lot better, obviously, with Caitlin there. I like Aaliyah Boston a lot. She's one of my favorites for sure, definitely.
yeah.
Um,
The Liberty are an incredible team and poised to potentially repeat. So the fact that the Fever can go toe to toe with them and even, in this instance win, I think it's just telling that this Liberty team this year, I mean, sorry, the Fever team this year is even better than it was in previous years, and they've made some really great additions, and it's a deep playoff run team, in my opinion.
yeah, they're definitely still the top team. I mean, one loss really doesn't do anything. I mean, they're still a good team. They're still going to be somebody to be reckoned with when it comes playoff time. So, I mean, there's no worry as far as that goes for the Liberty at all in my mind.
Yeah, I think the Fever are a deep playoff run team though.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, no, that's
they're
what I meant to say. I'm sorry. I meant to say the Fever. That's your girl Paige is back as well. She had a career high against the Mercury last week. I want to say.
yeah. Our girl
Even
just
though,
needed
even though,
some rest. She needed some freaking rest. She looks so rested, so ready to go. She had a couple games off in concussion protocol and then sat out one more game with illness. And I think that was just code for rest, honestly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
She looks, I mean, we saw the same thing with Caitlin last year. You come off that college season and that deep run of a college season to a
yeah,
national championship, and then you go right into WNBA, you pick right back up, you get no rest, no break. And I think that we saw it with Caitlin in after the All-Star break last year, how much better she looked. But then for Paige, yes, going under concussion protocol sucks. But I think like that two 2 weeks, it was like 4 games. So like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I think it was so good for her and so needed. And she looks super strong and super healthy. And despite the fact that the Dallas team just cannot get a win, I
yeah.
don't
They
think
didn't
that's
end up
Paige
losing to the
Becker.
Mercury in that game. She dropped 35, but they did lose that game. Yeah,
I mean, Arike Gumbawale has been silent. She's had a couple of games where she's gone off, but she's been pretty silent.
yeah,
They do not look like they have any team chemistry, that they've gelled at all. And I think that all starts at the top and the head coach, Chris Colcanis. He is a first-time head coach, and it just doesn't appear from what we can see that he has the respect of his players or that he respects his players. There
yeah,
was an altercation between him and Dejanay Carrington, one of the Dallas Wings players. She was begging him to challenge a call and get a replay on a call because she was saying, I did not touch that ball. I did not touch it. Review it, review it. And he just said, yeah, 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 okay. And then didn't ask for the review, sent her back out there. And you could see it on her face. Like, you want to be able to trust in your coach to have your back.
yeah.
And
And your
what
coach to
I'm
believe in you.
seeing, he doesn't have their back.
Hmm. Yeah, that was a bad look for real. Him doing that, not believing his player for real. Definitely. I mean, you could see. In my opinion, she didn't touch the ball, but I mean,
Your
you
player's
know,
telling you I didn't touch it. You really, if you don't have your players back, you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
respect of your players. So whether or not
Kind of just to
he did,
blow your player off.
yeah,
That's just kind of yeah. It definitely is like a hit to the team. So I can definitely see that. They need a new coach, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think he's definitely on the hot seat. I think Dallas will be looking for a new coach next year. I don't think you want to waste Paige Becker's talent. You don't want to waste Arike Gumbawale. They've put together good pieces on that team. They need a couple of more good pieces, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty strong team. It's a team that I could have seen being a playoff team before the season started, a sleeper pick for the playoffs, but they just you need somebody who can create team chemistry, who could figure out how to establish success for both Arike and Paige at the same time and balance that out with getting the most out of Nylissa Smith as well. Just
No,
I just
definitely.
don't think that this coach is the coach for them.
No, same. I agree with you for sure. I couldn't agree more for sure. Angel Reese recorded her first triple double
Mhm.
the other night, I believe it was. She like the second youngest behind Caitlin to record a triple double in the win over Connecticut. Just putting that out there, giving a shout out to her on that. How did you feel about her winning that Sportsman of the Year award thing? Was that like a thing to you? It was like a big deal. People
Yeah,
were like a little backlash about it.
this is her third year in a row winning the Sportswoman of the Year award. Um,
You said it's her third?
yeah, it's her third time winning it, I think.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Uh, I think there are a lot of alternatives I would have gone with over Angel Reese. Not to say that
Yeah.
she isn't making great strides as a sportswoman with her podcast, with, the things that she's doing on the court and all that.
Mhm.
But if you look at some of the other nominees in that field, that just Angel was not the one that spoke to
Yeah.
me of all of those. So
No, definitely. I don't even know who all the candidates were for it, but
yeah,
um
I
I
think
kind
Coco
of
Gauff was one of them.
that's who I was just about to say though, Coco Golf. I think she definitely should have been a candidate. We're gonna speak on her a little later as well. Um, but I think she definitely should have been a candidate for sure. I just definitely didn't think it was gonna be Angel Reese.
No, it just doesn't.
Disrespect to her. And that just wouldn't have been my pick if you know. But shout out to her for winning it. I know it was like a lot of backlash about her winning it. I just wanted to get your perspective on that. But no, she got her triple double in the win over Connecticut. Shout out to her for that. I mean, she's a good basketball player. She's leading the league in rebounding. So she's doing her thing. But Sportsman of the
Got
Year,
teammates that stick up for her now too, because I don't know if you
yeah.
saw that, but one of her teammates just shut it down the other day. They were asking her some questions, and one of her
Hmm.
teammates was just like, "Hey, like this is a 23-year-old woman you're talking to, and the crap that she goes through on a daily basis, and the crap that she hears on a daily basis is not something that a 23-year-old should be dealing with, and she's
Yeah.
handling it."
I like that she's scrappy though. She's not going to be bullied or nothing. She got into a little push shove the other day as well. But
But
I
yeah,
like
with
the
Tina
fact that
Charles, yeah, that was.
yeah, I like the fact that she's got that scrap in her though. That's going to go a long way for her for sure, definitely. Uh, how do you feel about the Aces struggles without Kelsey Plum? Because it seems like they're missing her a lot and
Yeah,
her
I think
production,
when
and
you
they're not getting her production from anyone else. It doesn't seem like.
No, I think when you've got a player like Kelsey Plum who has been so ingrained in your program and the way that you run your offense and the offense really started with her, and she was a point guard who was able to create for herself as well as her teammates. I don't think you necessarily find that, and also just that team chemistry aspect of it. I don't think that comes easy, and Kelsey Plum is such a unique player that you're not able to just plug and play with the
Yeah,
next person. So as great as Jewel Lloyd is, I just don't think that she has been the same player for the Aces. And I mean, I wouldn't have sat here before the season and told you that the Aces would be having the struggles that they're having. I didn't think that it was going to be this big of a deal, but it clearly is. They're clearly
yeah,
missing either attitude, spark, something. They are missing
Leadership,
something. What?
leadership,
About the
chemistry,
plum is.
attitude, something,
Yeah.
multiple things for sure. Yeah, no, because she's definitely balling out this year, and I mean, if she was putting up those numbers on the Aces right now, their season would be a lot different for sure, in my opinion. So, I mean, I think they're definitely missing her for sure.
Mm.
Um, but also talk NFL, a lot of NFL news going on for sure.
Yeah, I told you 2 weeks, man. We miss a lot.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely do. For sure.
Start with
Shoot,
the
let's
biggie. Go ahead. Start with the biggie. Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. We haven't talked about it yet.
yes, Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers picked up Aaron Rodgers finally. I mean, been talking about it for months about that being a place for him to go. He's finally there. He's in camp working with the team. Uh, what's your take on it? Do you think that Aaron Rodgers helps the Steelers in a division your team is in uh,
Yeah.
have a chance to win that division or even have a playoff berth? Or are
Oh.
they championship contenders with
Um,
Aaron Rodgers?
no, I don't think he makes them that much better, to be honest. I saw some videos of him at camp, and you can't necessarily take anything you see at camp too seriously, but he just isn't moving the way that he used to. And, Will Howard looked like he was moving better. And, and
Like the future for real, but we'll see.
I just don't think at this point in his career, Aaron Rodgers is the championship player that he was, the MVP caliber player that he was.
Yeah.
And it's honestly sad because I have to remind myself who Aaron Rodgers was because we're so clouded and jaded by the last 2 or 3 years
Hmm.
and the moves that he's made and the things that he's done and
Yeah.
um the information that he's put out about himself on the internet. And
Yeah.
it's hard to remind yourself that this is the same Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers. So
Yeah. Two
I
different Aarons for sure.
very
Two
different
different Aarons.
players, and this is not an Aaron Rodgers that is going to make your team a playoff contender just because, or make your team a championship contender just because it's Aaron Rodgers. So I'm honestly not that worried about it. They can look forward to their third place finish in the AFC North. Uh,
I knew that was coming.
it's good for them. Potentially going 9-8. It feels about right for a Mike Tomlin team that's led by Aaron
Fans,
Rodgers.
hey,
9-8. Yeah, yeah.
Steelers fans, y'all hear this now? She
Sorry.
said that.
I've talked to a couple Steelers fans. I don't think they're that excited about it either.
No, for sure. I mean, if you ask me, like I said, I mean, he didn't do nothing in New York, so I mean, I don't see much of an impact here in Pittsburgh. I mean, granted, he's a better option than what they had on the roster. Um, they got a
Yeah.
young Will Howard there. There's been talks that Will Howard's been doing great in camp, but at the end of the day, Will Howard's a rookie. He's not doesn't have the experience yet. So I mean, Aaron Rodgers is their best option, but it's still not an option where it's gonna just jump them into championship contender in my mind. Steelers still got to work out the contract with TJ Watt as well, so they haven't done that, which is crazy to me.
I mean,
For
that's a
you
big
not,
deal for them.
yeah, for them not to sign, be working because he didn't show up to camp. So, which I don't blame him. They need to give him his money for sure. There's no question why TJ Watt shouldn't be getting whatever he wants. Definitely he should be getting Max Crosby money for sure. But yeah, no, Aaron Rodgers, he's definitely not that. I mean, granted, they picked up DK Metcalf or whatever, but it's just not going to be enough. I see them coming in about third or fourth place. The Ravens, it'll be y'all and the Ravens at the top. Bengals and Ravens, I don't know who's gonna win. I'll say my predictions for NFL season, but y'all be at the top, and then the Browns and the Steelers be two bottom teams for sure. Uh in
Duke
that
it out for third place.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Third or fourth place for sure. We already mentioned about TJ Watt not showing up to camp.
Yeah,
Uh
let's talk about my Bengals because they're
yeah.
uh they're always making headlines too. So
Yeah, I mean, the first round pick, Shamar Stewart still not signed. Henderson's still not signed. What's your take on that? Didn't he didn't show up to camp? Neither one of them, I don't think.
Shamar Stewart walked out of camp, I believe.
Walked out of camp. Yeah,
Exactly. I think that the Trey Hendrickson contract talks have resumed. That's what I've heard is that that has picked back up again.
Mhm.
Um, again, is it on the timeline that everybody wanted? No. Do I think that they are going to get something worked out? Yes. I think Trey Hendrickson's camp is wanting too lengthy of a contract for a 30-year-old player. I think they're wanting more commitment years wise for a 30-year-old than the Bengals are willing to give. And I've said this before, but I just think they need to load him up with incentives on a 2-year contract. And I think
yeah.
Trey's agent
That's
over
smart.
over a few years now through negotiations hasn't been my favorite negotiator. I don't think that I don't think that Trey's getting the most out of what he can get. And being so set on it being a long-term contract is not necessarily even what you need because if you go out and you hit all your incentives, then you're good. If you're a 32-year-old that has produced, you're good. You can go get another 1-year contract at a time. Like I
Right
understand
here.
wanting that security, but you have to also understand that you're a 30-year-old edge rusher. It's not like there's gonna be some hold up there on the Bengals camp side. I also think they got it locked up early. He still has another year on his contract. I feel like they believed that they locked him up before the market went up and they shouldn't have to this year take that hit and that they can negotiate it for next year, which helps them with the cap space and with having signed big deals for T and Jamar this year. And it's like, hey, we locked you up when we locked you up, and that's, we got ahead of it.
I mean, you're right. Technically, he does have 1 year still left on his contract. I mean, so,
And maybe
uh,
they think they should be negotiating for next year. And then it just there's a lot that goes on in these contract negotiations that we don't know about, and the things that are holding them up that we don't know about necessarily. And um, on the Shamar Stewart end of it, I think there's so much that's already predetermined in his rookie contract. It's a little bit
I seen a couple of the things. It seemed kind of crazy, like and none of the other first round picks have it in their contract. So I mean, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. Where it's just like if you get no guaranteed money, I think it was like if you got injured or got in any trouble. Um, and a few other things I couldn't remember, but it was just like crazy to where no other contract no other first round pick had a contract with those clauses in it. So he was just trying to get. I think he was just trying to get those clauses taken out. I'm not sure
it,
what.
it's interesting though because like have the Bengals been doing this? Has that been what our rookie contracts look like?
Well,
I
yeah,
think it
I think
is
that I think
outside
the
the
Bengals.
norm.
I think the owners of the Bengals are trying to set a standard, which I don't think, which really is a good idea. Kind of like to save their money to save them from losing guaranteed money. But I don't know if that's like a good thing to try to start, because especially like for first round picks, but I don't know, to try to do that leverage. I don't think they've ever done it before because None
Who's
of
heard about it?
your picks, none of the first round picks from the years before have held out or anything like that. I'm not sure if this is their first time trying it or not, but I
Yeah,
have no
it's
clue.
interesting. It's interesting to see. Like, I don't understand
Yeah, but like they
how
were
they're
saying,
doing it. I
possibly he
love
could
the
go
reasoning, but
if y'all don't end up signing him.
he can
It
enter
could
the draft
possibly,
again.
yeah, for next year, yeah, which is crazy. You have to sit out a whole year, but yeah, it's
I don't think
definitely
he'll be a
thing.
first round pick next year.
Yeah, that's and that's the thing I thought about too when I heard that news. I'm like, man, well, I don't know if he'll be a first round pick next year, because it's a deep draft with a lot of talent coming out next
Deep
year.
draft, and I don't necessarily think that he was a first round pick this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of
Very
Bengals
contentious.
fans,
There
a
weren't a lot
lot
of
of
people
Bengals
that thought
fans thought that as well. He didn't put up a lot of production in college. We talked about that. He didn't have the numbers for sure. You can kind of see the physical talent in spurts. Wasn't consistent. So yeah, no, I can agree with you. There was a lot of talk and speculation on him even being a first round talent. They were just going off of physical ability, for sure. But yeah, no, you're right. If he does sit out that year, in my opinion, he wouldn't be a first round pick. So he would be losing out. So hopefully, I mean, they get it worked out, and it kind of puts the favor back in the Bengals position if that's the case too with him, because it's like if you sit out, then you'll have to bank on being a first round pick next year, which probably won't happen. So
Look,
hopefully they get it
I
figured out.
think the
I would
deal
like
gets
to see him
done.
get in there to see what he has. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him once he does get signed, if he does get signed, to perform, especially if things don't get worked out with Henderson and or if he gets traded for say. There'll be a lot of pressure on Stewart. So I think you need to get. I think y'all need to get them both signed, especially Henderson. Obviously, he's the biggest piece on y'all's defense, and y'all's defense is really what y'all need to improve on. To y'all already a contender for real, but like I
Yeah,
said, the better y'all get on defense, the better it'll be for you guys, for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. Definitely.
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
Um,
Hold on one second.
got you. Yep, yep.
What? Oh, oh. I love having dogs. They're so
No, you good.
all right.
But the Green Bay Packers released cornerback Jair Alexander while we were off,
Yeah.
uh, which to me was a bad move. In my opinion, I think he's still a great corner, shutdown corner. Whoever picks him up is definitely going to improve for sure. There have been a lot of talks that my team, Philly, is like the favorite to get him, which would just be adding fuel to the fire because they're loaded back there with the young guys, Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell. But no, where do you see Jair going? What would be a good destination? I think that your team would be a good destination if the Bengals would do it. But
Yeah, I mean, I would love to say that. I just don't think the Bengals are going to do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah,
I mean, we
that
can't
would
get our own contracts figured out right now, so I can't see us picking up anybody else. But I love it. Yeah, that'd be great. But I do think if he goes to Philly, it'd be interesting because I've heard that there's talks that they want to move Cooper DeJean to safety.
safety. Yeah,
So could be an interesting thing that if he goes there, but I do think that any team he goes to, he makes them better. I don't think he's that washed yet. So
yeah. No, definitely. He's definitely still a good corner in my mind. I think Philly would probably sign him to a 1, 2 year deal, which would go well, like you said.
yeah.
With those guys, Cooper DeJean playing safety. I mean, he could play corner as well, but if you sign Jair, then you really could play Cooper or put him around anywhere. But no, we'll see where he goes. He's not signed yet, but we'll see. the Browns traded Nick Chubbs to Houston, um, which
You
in
can
my opinion,
stay on Cleveland, man. Stay on.
what's up with what's up with how do you feel about that trade? I don't think Cleveland should have got rid of him. I know they drafted two young running backs. My boy from
Well, Chubb was a free agent. It wasn't like
oh,
they
wasn't
traded him.
okay. My
Yeah,
fault.
Chubb was a free agent. I think the Browns could have done more to keep him, but also
I
at the same
definitely feel
time,
that way.
I don't know what Houston is going to do with him. I think the Browns should have kept Chubb mostly because he is a fan favorite, and the Browns could use their fan favorites in the building. Uh,
Yeah.
Chubb, he's come back from so many injuries that with his injury history and his age, it's just kind of like it's a big risk. And Houston already has Mixon, so I don't know
See, I think that
what
goes
their
perfect though,
stuff
because
is.
Mixon is a great back, but you know, and nowadays you need a good 2-1-2 punch, and Mixon and Chubbs is a great 1-2 punch for C.J. Stroud, in my
I don't know that
opinion.
Chubb is a punch anymore. I think he's got like
You
I,
don't think he got it no more
I
after
think
the
he has
injury?
stick legs. I don't know. I would be really nervous with his injury history. Really nervous.
But I mean, they still got Damon Pierce on the team, which who was a good back for them as well. So I mean, if Chubbs isn't that what you think he's going to be, but I think I got faith in Chubb. He's constantly came back from these big injuries. He's been having them since college. So, but no, I
Yes, but
think
at what point is it the
he's not.
last injury?
He's not a one. He's not an RB1 for sure. But as a backup and as a bruiser, he fits well with Mixon, I think, as a 1-2 punch with CJ Stroud. So I don't think it was a bad pickup for the Texans. I think it actually helps their running game, uh, putting him back there with Mixon for real. And they didn't have to use a lot of money on him as well.
No, I think it helps
So,
them until the day he gets hurt, but I don't see him lasting through a season.
no, she
No.
don't got no faith in the boy. That's crazy.
Just I mean maybe he'll come back from another injury, but I don't see him going a full season without getting injured at this point.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But
Being a running back, it's so hard on your body, and he's
I
done
mean, he
with
says
so many injuries.
he's feeling good. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's gonna
As an
do all
athlete,
right.
I'd say I'm feeling good too. I want my money. I want to
No,
play.
I feel you. I feel you. I mean, I think he's gonna be a decent backup for them. I think and they needed him to help out with Mixon because Mixon doesn't always stay healthy as well. So they needed a little bit more depth, and they got it him between him, Damon Pierce, and Chubbs. I think they'll be all right to help Stroud with the running game for sure. Uh, but we'll see. You know, maybe they'll have a bet on that if Chubbs will make it the whole year. Not a betting line on that.
I would feel atrocious betting on someone's injury.
I know, right? That's wild. That's real wild. For sure. But no, yeah, no. Shout out to Nick Chubb. He's a Texan. We'll see how it works out. But let's talk NHL. Um,
Yeah.
the Panthers and Edmonton. The Panthers are up. I believe you picked them to win, if I'm correct.
I don't even remember at this point. I'm
I
gonna be
think you
so
did pick
honest.
because I picked the
I might
Edmonton.
have. I might
I
have.
think you. No, you did. I know you did for sure. You
Okay.
picked Edmonton. You picked Florida to win. They're up in the series 3-2. Game 6 is tomorrow, and it's in Florida. Uh, I mean, I don't know if you've been watching the games or peeking on the games. There was a few blowouts, but most of the other games were pretty good. They've been going back and forth in the series. Obviously, Florida took the lead. They're up 3-2. They can close it out tomorrow at home. Do you think they will close it out, or do you think it'll go to Game 7?
I think the odds are in their favor to close it out tomorrow. It's on their home turf. They would be going back to back. Um, they've looked, I think, a little bit stronger from the clips that I've peeked in on. Can't say that I've watched every game in full. I had a very busy week last week.
Yeah. No, same. Yeah, I
But
know.
they look pretty poised to repeat. And I know that I've seen the clips of Kachuk saying that they're playing like it's game 7 tomorrow. So if I had to guess, I think they might get it done tomorrow.
Yeah, well, shoot, I hope they don't because I picked Edmonton to win. So, I mean, it looks heavy in the Panthers' favor for sure. Um, I if you ask me, I think they are going to close it out tomorrow. But I'm hoping they don't. I hope some way Edmonton finds a way to win on the road. But uh, I do think Florida probably will close it out, in my opinion. But
Be more fun seeing it go to game 7, but I just don't think it's gonna happen.
yeah, same. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully they do. So, but we talked about Coco Golf earlier. She ended up winning the French Open. So congrats to her. How do you pronounce the girl name? Mia Sabalenka. She beat her in the French Open. Sabalenka had some comments after the match, basically saying that Coco Golf didn't win because she played well. She won because Sabalenka played bad. Do you think that's a poor sport move on her behalf for those comments? Uh,
Yeah, it's just poor sportsmanship. I mean, girlfriend, that's an inside thought, not an outside thought. It's not something that you share. You can think that to yourself, and you can know
it
that
was Saudi.
that you didn't play to your best ability. And I could even see saying I didn't play to the best of my ability. But to say
Yeah,
that Coco Gauff didn't win on her talent, she won because I had a bad day. That is not good
not
sportsmanship.
the case.
And
Which was not the case.
I'm hoping that something just got lost in translation a little bit there, and maybe that she didn't mean it quite so nastily. Um, because it just truly was bad sportsmanship. It
It
didn't live
came off in
up
the
to the
interview. It definitely sounded that way.
I know,
Definitely sounded
I know.
with the intent,
It's just loser energy. It's loser mentality. And it's,
yeah, just bitter,
bro,
poor
that's why you
sport.
lost.
Yeah,
That's why you lost.
literally, for real. Like it was crazy. I think it's definitely a low blow move on my behalf. I mean, she could have took the high road. I mean, the Sabalenka is not a bad player at all. One of the top players in the sport. So, I mean, she'll have her chance to come back next year and win the French. I'm not sure if she's ever won one, but she'll have a chance to come back next year. I just think that was a poor petty move on her behalf with those comments. But shout out to Coco Golf, just not responding, taking the high road. Uh, I haven't heard anything about her responding or anything, which she shouldn't either. So, but speaking of, there were some tweets
Poor
you wanted to
sport.
talk about. Yeah, speaking of poor sport, there were some tweets you wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a little bit of old news at this point, and the conversation has been hashed and rehashed, and everybody has pretty much said their piece on it. Um, and I don't love to get super political publicly, um, or, really showcase too much of this side of myself, but I think it's important to talk about. If you don't know who Riley Gaines is a former SEC champion swimmer. She swam for Kentucky, and her claim to fame is that for a big event, I don't know exactly what meet it was at this point. It was 3 years ago. She tied for fifth with Leah Thompson. Leah Thomas, a trans female swimmer, which I just want to stress. Four cisgender women placed ahead of both of them, but she tied for fifth with Leah and made a big stink about quote unquote men in women's sports. And it has taken on such a life over the last 3 years. It's not, she's claimed that it's about protecting women and protecting women from men infiltrating women's spaces and having to be in the locker room with trans women who have still have their biological male parts and things like that. But she's not in my opinion, she's not protecting women. She's petty that she lost a race and she is a transphobe. She's just simply that. That is my opinion. I'm not going to speak for everybody else. I just think she's transphobic and she has made her career on being transphobic on the internet and leading the charge on transphobia in sports. So, what she does online now is find stories of as young as high school students who are trans athletes and put them on blast on the internet and
Like
open
cyberbullying.
open them
And
up to hate from the transphobic and MAGA communities. And these are kids. So I think that, a lot of people have just finally had enough and it's getting ridiculous. And so Riley Gaines tweeted about a softball team who won a state championship that had a trans woman on their team. And she called them out for it and said something about the star player being a boy. One, when you look at that photo, you actually cannot tell who the trans athlete is. Two, again, saying boy is just a transphobic misgenderization of a trans athlete. It is at its core bullying. And Simone Biles, the GOAT of women's gymnastics, responded to her very publicly on Twitter and said, Riley Gaines, you're truly sick. All this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where trans feels safe in sports. Maybe a transgender category in all sports. But instead, you bully them. One thing is for sure, no one in sports is safe with you around. So Simone, in that, did two things that I think are really important to take away. One, she called Riley what she is, which is a bully. That's
yeah,
not that's not bullying on her part. That's her stating an opinion. She's saying, Riley, you are a bully. This is bullying and it's uncalled for. And two, somewhere along the way, the people on Riley Gaines' side have gotten lost in translation. The fact that Simone is not denying that there's room for better solutions for trans people in sports. She's just not okay with Riley making a full-time job out of bullying children
yeah,
on the internet. So Riley responds and she says, This is so disappointing. My take is the least controversial take on the planet. Simone Biles being a male apologist at the expense of young girls' dreams didn't have that on my bingo card. Maybe she could compete in pommel horse and rings in 2028. It's it's actually insane to me for Riley to claim that her take is the least controversial take on the planet when it's one of the most controversial takes right now. It's one of the most argued back and forth things where people are trying to find a place for trans people in the sports community. For you to say that your take is the least controversial just shows me that you are completely delusional and brainwashed into your little MAGA cult agenda. You
yeah. It
are
just
not
seems like
open
she's
to anything.
bullying and just on some negative, just posting negative content, negative energy, and just putting that out there. That's what it seemed like. She seems like she's a real miserable person for real.
She could have just kept
Uh,
scrolling. This is a child that she was outing, a child that she's exposing to hate and bullying and harassment on the internet. And that's what she makes her full-time job out of.
yeah.
She
Now
because you
everybody has
lost
their own.
one race, you didn't
I
even
get,
lose to a trans athlete. You tied. You tied for
yeah.
fifth.
And no, like you
It's
said, four other girls
disgusting.
beat her. And like I said, I get everybody having their own opinion on the whole. trans and women's sports having their own opinion? Okay, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion, but the bullying and all the negative doesn't have to be necessary. You know what I mean? For her to biblically attack, uh, not physically, but like verbally attack people on the internet, stuff like that. That's totally unnecessary. If you want to have your opinion on it, that's one thing, but to just wake up every day and look for and sought out for people to attack, it kind of is more of a mental issue in my mind.
I just Riley Gaines is not trying to fight for women. She is perpetuating propaganda, transphobic propaganda. She is transphobic. If she actually cared about you and cared about the sanctity of women's sports, she would lead with a scientific, objective approach where you're looking for the best solution. Misgendering people is not objective in any sense. It is bullying, it is transphobic, and it is not, she is not fighting for women. She's not. And this is what pisses me off because the people like Riley that come on the internet and talk about men in women's sports and the talk about like protecting women. You know what Riley Gaines did after the Simone tweets? She then tweeted a photo of Larry Nassar and reminded Simone Biles of the abuse she faced against a biological male.
Yeah,
Again,
and that's that
boom.
again. That
And it's
goes
a
into what I kind of
biological
said.
male. We are
Yeah,
afraid of biological men in sports. You know what I'm not afraid of? I'm not afraid of a trans woman changing next to me because there is no concern. I mean, have we not gotten past? There are plenty of lesbian and bisexual athletes in sports. I've definitely changed next to a lesbian athlete and never thought twice about it. And wouldn't you think that that's more sexual in nature than changing next to a trans woman? You don't necessarily know what that trans woman's sexuality and preferences are. So the fact that they're saying that it's something that causes a safety issue is is all objective and
yeah, yeah,
you have no idea and the the idea that men who have failed in men's sports will then just become transgender and say they're women and compete in women's sports is absurd. It's absurd.
yeah. I don't see
Absurd.
a lot of dudes doing
And then you know
that
what we
for
don't
sure.
talk about is we don't talk about the other side of it because you don't see it happen, but the trans men who want to compete in male sports. And you don't see the struggles that they face because, yes, there is a biological difference. There is a genetic difference scientifically. And that's why Simone was stressing finding a way for trans people to compete in sports. But all that this side is looking for is inclusivity and fairness. And the crazy thing is, I say fairness, but sports in its own nature is not fair. It's not fair that like Brianna Stewart is 6'4" and I could have had to play high school basketball against her somewhere at at a like
Yeah, and you being in New York, yeah,
it just it doesn't it sports are inherently not fair. Michael Jordan going up against Michael Jordan, going up against Shaq wasn't fair to anybody else. Going up against Caitlin Clark isn't fair. There's so much that isn't fair based on stuff that we can't control. So why are we focused on this? And why is this the thing that we're harping on and not height, weight, nepotism? Because look at how many children of professional athletes are now professional athletes. Like, talk about Bronny James. Is that fair? Is it fair that he was drafted into the league when he was? No, it's not. So sports are inherently not fair. And this entire argument is futile because nobody is saying that we should just let it continue the way that it is. There needs to be scientific, objective research done and a lane created for trans people to compete in sports because I promise you, trans athletes are not just looking to get one over on us. And it's not a safety concern for women more than male coaches, male massage therapists, like male trainers are a safety threat to women. So that's my piece. Um, sorry, got a little
Uh,
heated,
like I said,
but
I
just
with the whole Riley Gaines
come on.
girl, chick, whatever. To me, I think it's just more of a mental issue. Like I said, as far as her opinion, she's allowed to have that or whatever, but it's just more of, like you said, the bullying, attacking people on the internet. That's kind of like where it gets out of hand for real. I just think, like you said, she's miserable and she's just looking for something to find to hold on to. But like I said, she can have her opinion or feel how she wants. It's just you don't have to attack people in the matter of doing so. So, yeah, she definitely needs some help or somebody to talk to for sure when it comes to the bullying. 100%, definitely. But no, shout out to Simone Biles too for
Sticking
you
up
know,
for
yeah, standing up. And then, they're going to have to figure out something for sure. But, who knows? That's a whole nother conversation for sure.
it's
Definitely.
above our pay grade is what it is. It's not for us to figure out for the whole
Definitely.
I could say my piece on it, but it's not for us to figure out. And I think it looks different in every sport because individual sports are so different from team sports. And I think that there's a much simpler lane in within individual sports to create
Yeah.
opportunity for trans athletes than it is in team sports. It's probably a lot harder. So
Yeah.
I think you need to just look at it objectively. You need to look at it scientifically and stop focusing on claiming it's about safety when that's not what this is about. It's about transphobic people being in charge of these decisions, starting in our White House.
Shots fired. Well, hey, it is what it is. On that note, we're going to holler at you guys next week. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to the He Said She Said Sports Talk Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Big Red. This is Tony. Back from a week off. We back at it again next week for sure. We appreciate you guys. You know it, and as always, it is love and peace.